Today we're going to talk about Farmudding halos.
I've been having dreams, jumping on a trampoline, flipping in the air. I never land, just float there. As I'm looking up, suddenly the sky erupts. Flames that light the trees, spread to fallen leaves. Now they're right upon me. Wait if I'm on fire. How am I so deep in love when I dream of dying? I never feel so low. I've been having tripping, I fall in.
It's Anthony, back with another video. I'm going to do an overview of this halo install. I couldn't find nothing when I was looking to do it. And 2019 had changes from prior years. I've learned that much. A couple videos had good installs, but obviously mine are already on. I'm just going to go over things that you got to look out for, and hopefully it'll save you a little bit of a headache in the long run, because I had a headache. You can kind of get as nice as you want to make it. Me and my brother, we made it so that it kind of looks like it was supposed to be there, with the wiring especially. Everything's for the most part hidden, which is real easy. Body panels come off, they're all clipped in, there's no problem there. And we'll jump into it. First and foremost, see that 10mm bolt? There is one there. There's another one up above. In between, it's up here. Up in there. So you got those two bolts there. And I kind of forget where the other one is. But they are going to loosen up. You're probably real close to my face. Those are going to loosen up this bracket where these projectors sit in, and once you loosen that up, you'll be able to pull this bracket off. Now there's a like a cross member that connects to the main frame right here. There's also two bolts back there, two if I remember, 10mm bolts, and that will take it so you'll be able to remove the housings out of, or you'll be able to remove the projector out of this housing. Now, the biggest pain in the butt is Can Am put a stud behind here. Now this is for 2019 because that's what year this is. But you have to kind of like press against here hard, because they put Loctite on everything and locking and nylon lock nuts. You have to press pretty hard, and while you're pressing pretty hard, you got to get, I just used a ratchet and a socket, and you got to disconnect this, and what that'll do is that, along with this, and then that torques right there, that will lower this whole assembly. So once you lower this whole thing, it's a lot easier to work on, and it makes it a lot more simpler as to getting to where you need to get. Because what's going to happen is this, there's a clip up here and a clip down here. And once you loosen, or once you get the stud off here and this bolt out here, this whole housing will lower from the fender, and it's going to be much easier to work on the back when this is not clipped in. So the biggest thing is this stupid stud here. I didn't even put the nut back on. Like, you can see that that's disconnect, because it's not needed. You have the clip here, the clip there, the bolt there, and then you have the 2 bolts underneath, which is connected to the framework, which connects to the frame, which hangs these lights. So that bezel, once you separate the headlight, the projector from the housing, you're gonna take the projector out of that bracket, and that projector is gonna screw together. You're gonna unscrew that. You'll see it. It's a ring. There's a ring back here. You can see it without. You unscrew that ring. This whole projector will come apart away from the ring, and you'll get access to that bezel that I showed you. What I used is I used a rotary file on a drill motor, and I just took the file in there, filed out the space I needed for the wires, and that way it would clip together easily. If you don't do that, it'll never go together, because when you go to put it together, you'll pinch the wires. Eventually they'll rub through and your halos will be junk. When you were looking at that, it's all RTV silicone. I think I have it here. So Farmudding, when you get the halos, they'll send you focuses. They'll send you RTV silicone. You want to clean everything really good, because you're going to rely on this stuff to survive through all the shit that you drive in. So rotary file, you have to clock these housings at the right spot. If you can see up in there, I'm doing this kind of like in a I don't know if you're gonna focus. Alright, right there. See the wires back there? What that is you can see the rim right there. That black piece around the edge right there. That's a bezel. I don't know if you can see that, but you want to clock the bezels at a angle so that on your exit it'll come out smoothly. And then from here, just ran the wire straight up into the top here. There's a piece of rubber, flip that rubber up, bring the wires right in. No problem. The biggest thing, it's gonna take a while, is getting this housing apart. I didn't expect it to be as hard as it was. It's not hard. You'll be able to figure it out. Like I said, there's 2 bolts coming off the frame, and then there's 3 bolts on the housing that you have to disconnect in order to get the projectors off of the metal bracketry of the headlight of the projector housing. Once you do one side, the other side's going to be easy. Once I figured out one side, the others. I'm gonna say it took me maybe an hour to get this housing down off and separate the projectors. The other side took me maybe 30 minutes, if that. But once you separate them, the longest part is letting this RTV silicone set up. You need to let this set up. If you don't let it set up, you're going to be in trouble. A good trick is have like a cup of water and dip your fingers in water and then run your finger around the halo to seal it. The halos also have adhesive material on the back of the halos, which helps out good. You can put more of this too on the back as well if you wanted to. So I'm going to show you right now how I got the wires from the halos to the battery. Right here you can see this yellow wire is for the halos. I ran that under here, pulled this cover off. I'm not going to pull it off right now because I don't feel like it. Tied it in with the harness for the headlights, brought it up through right to here, and then kind of zip tied everything together. This part is like the most the driest part, I would say. This seemed the most logical to mount here. There's a little 3M adhesion tape on the back. It's right on top of the fuse box. Plenty of clearance with console. And then I just have a little switch that's kind of dies every time. Just a little loose connection. I ran all my wires right to here. See all them connections right here? Those are the halo connections. There's 2 per light, and I ran them right under this flap here. This flap, lift that up, and your wires will be ran right to there when you finish putting them. You'll run them through when you put the halos in. Like I said, clock those bezels towards where you want the wire to go. And it's important not to get them wires pinched. You can get, I bought the Bluetooth Farmudding kit so I can change the lights right on Bluetooth. So you turn them on. You get this Magic LED app. It's called like Magic LED. You pick your halo option in the Bluetooth bar, and then you get a wheel like this, and it changes them any color you want. The yellow's kind of cool. It also has like 200 modes. Literally.